Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
Wrestling with a Bear podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Wrestling with a Bear podcast. I am your host, John Pun, alongside Chris Rex and Alex the Bear Man. And today, our guest of the night is Suntan Superman, aka Johnny D, the promoter, owner of Guts and Glory Wrestling. How are we all doing, gentlemen?
Well, thank you for having me. I would say wrestling journey started, I would say 98 when I would emulate or try to emulate Jackie Chan in the parks. I mean, right now I couldn't do that. I got in a laundry basket. So but I would watch that, and there was this show called WMAC Masters. So I would kind of copy their choreography and go to the parks and do what I saw, and then introduced to wrestling right then and there. And the first thing I saw, now my mom was always into wrestling. She used to watch the Spanish stuff, but I didn't know what I don't speak Spanish and stuff. So, I kind of got introduced there. Then I saw Kane for the first time, this big red thing on television. I'm looking at it, and there's fireworks and there's all this other stuff. I'm like, man, gee, what is that? And then I got introduced to you and all this other stuff, late night stuff when I was a nocturne. And in 2001, I went to a show at the Elks Lodge, the Queen's Elks Lodge, and it was a free benefit show for 9/11. And there I saw the Amazing Red and Low-Key put on a match that just jaw-dropped everybody. And it was from that point on, I had my friend Steve with me, and Tony Nese was there. And we kind of like clicked up or whatever, and we decided we'd follow this. And Dog House up on Cypress, was it Cypress Hills? I don't know. It was somewhere in Queens with Lathon, the LIWF, Bobby Lombardi. I tried to join Mat Rats. I did a stunt where I tried to go up to Canada to join it, and it didn't work out, needless to say. And I had wrestling because I I had a rough experience, let's say. And then in 2000, and I would say 2005, I went to Tennessee, the Nashville, Tennessee Fair, drive my brother down there, and I went to TNA. And I went to TNA afterwards. After the show, there was a bar called Santa's Pub.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt, Chris. I was just told that we're speaking on the wrong page. Okay, sorry.
You did nothing wrong. What, do you have a question in there, or?
No, I was just told that, Chris. I think we're streaming on the wrong page. Okay.
So in 2005, there was the show TNA. They had Sting, they had Jeff Jarrett, they had all these guys, Dusty Rhodes, and there was a bar called Santa's Pub, and this is where a lot of the wrestlers would frequent. Now the bar was owned by a guy that looked like a Santa Claus from a Tim Burton world, like he looked like a junkie Santa Claus, and a big black S shirt, Superman symbol. And we got drunk. We were birds, you could imagine. The barmaid was a lush. I mean, just a lush. And Ron Killings was there. D'Lo Brown was there. Some kid named D-Ray. It was like a whole thing. So the barmaid wanted to get Santa's attention. And she was so messed up, she yelled out Suntan instead of Santa. And then everybody, and and it just started a chant, suntan, suntan. So then that was like 2005, and at the time I was out of wrestling. I was an avid gambler. I lived up at the top for a few years,
Oh shit.
and then 2011, or was it 2011 or 2012? There was a big ticket over at the ballroom for Brian Danielson, American Dragon versus Morishima. I wanted to come back to New York and take my cousin out, and we went out. And boy, that so drunk and messed up, and that arena was so crazy. And that's why I met Joel Maximo, and and I and I told Joel that I would ride along with him, and that I basically wanted to be the Black Paul Heyman. I never wanted to wrestle. Because it left a bad taste in my mouth. So I wanted to be like Paul Heyman, the trench coat, the hat, the whole 9 yards. And then Joel said, "Look, you're riding with me," and I said, "All right, let's do it." He put me in the ring. Oh boy, he put me in the ring, and it was just something else. So I made something out of it. So we tried to come up with a gimmick, and it was the Amazing Red that said, "Yo, your real self. This whole thing. This is your gimmick." I said, "Why? I don't want to use my real thing as a gimmick because you go insane." And he goes, "No, Suntan, this is you." I said, "Okay." So now this is what you see. I have like anxiety issues, like stage fright, so I'm afraid of it. I remember one time, uh, Loki, like before he had knocked me out, because there was an incident where he knocked me out.
Yeah.
All right. Before that, he had this demeanor about him where he was like Mr. Roboto, and I asked this guy. I said, is this guy straight or whatever? Does he come from a group home or something? And they're like, "No, that's just him." I said, "Well, I think he needs an enema. I mean, the guy's just so crazy." And then they get me in the ring with him, and then he knocks me out, and that's what. So I didn't want to mix the two. I I had all these crazy gimmicks, and Joel didn't want to do none of them. I had a metrosexual kind of guy, the Incredible Fifi. Now at the time, there was a wrestler by the name of Kiwi or something. It was WCW days that you know. So I wanted to be the first Zohan, Metro Soul. The girls fall out every time I walk or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the Fonz.
Would have loved that.
It was, but I had the Incredible Fifi. Joel said, "Absolutely not." I said, "Okay, fine. So how about we do a thing where I'm like a factory worker, like Studley Peppers?" Joel said, "Absolutely not." Yeah, I said, "Well, what do you want?" He said, "Suntan." He goes, "This is you. This is it." I said, "All right." And because a lot of actors, you'll see they have like these crazy things. They can't separate themselves. Only the greats, your Denzel Washingtons, your Jack Nicholson, they're the only ones that can shut this persona off. But everybody else, especially in the wrestling world, they made it. It's a work like 24 fucking 7. And then these fans, they come up with the buck teeth and the dispositions, and I just didn't know, I don't know. At first, once I started to go along with it, I was kind of scared, but once I started to go along with it, I said, "You know what?" I said, "Maybe I could be the Black John Wayne." The song that I used, Black Betty, okay, it was a song that originated from Alabama, and it's really Black Betty, Alabama, but it's supposed to do this whole thing. I met the guys who played it, and the Ram Jam guys. They played at a place called Hicksville, where I stay, and it's that song that I use when I crack open my first cold beer. When I start drinking after a stressful night, once you hear the can crack, there goes Black Betty. And that's my thing. And then Joel said, "That's it, Suntan. That's the song. I said, all right, whatever. Let's do it. Everybody was in suspense, everybody. Everybody, I had the babies. I had a baby spit out his pacifier, and he saw that. It was incredible. Man. Anything like it. I'm ready, I'm ready to crap my pants. There was a few times I actually blacked out on the ropes from touching the. I just like everything. Just like I had a stroke one time. I'll tell you about that in a bit. So Joel watches me do this moonsault in this backflip. Really, I call it the black flip because it wasn't really, it's just a flip. I was like Free Willy. Everybody got to laugh. So Joel goes, Suntan, you're doing that the next show. I said, Joel, I can't. First off, I said, look, I'm not an SAT guy. I don't do these things. I don't, let me sit on people. Let me harpoon them. Let me go in and pull people and slap them around. He goes, Suntan, no. He goes, Suntan, you got to move. I said, all right. So I remember the first match I did it. I think it was it with Matt Stryker? I think that was it might have been. I think it might have been. Okay. So the first time I did it with Matt Stryker. So we're doing this match. We're doing it now. First off, you guys are spot monkeys. I can't. Unbelievable. So what they're calling it, we're calling it, and then when it gets to me, we're like, okay, guys, please, okay, I'm gonna have a stroke. I can't, So we go to do it. Lights, camera, action. Okay, beer smell. The fans are going crazy. I go to climb the ropes. There was a fan standing right there. When I reached the third rope, I says, "What the hell am I doing up?" And then they start laughing at me, the whole front row. And then I went up. Whoa! Like a boulder, like a big black boulder. And unbelievable. I landed. And I said, holy Christ. And I said, Greg, I can't believe I did. And Greg goes, yeah, I know. Me neither. Get out. I said, so I go to Strike. I said, holy Christ, I'm alive. And Strike goes, I can't believe it neither. And he goes, sit down. Oh, well, so that was the first time. That was the first time I hit it at the Ludas. And it was just the whole place went nuts.
Hell yeah.
Second time I hit it was on Julius Smokes. And Julius Smokes, now if you guys don't know about Julius Smokes, the guy
I actually saw him at MLW not long ago in Dallas. I actually had an encounter with him. A heel to fan encounter. So that was pretty cool.
Wow. The guy's a torpedo.
Oh,
he's a torpedo. Listen. So we go and we're gonna do the moonsault. He wants to take it. I said, Smokes, man, you got 300 pounds of ass coming down on you, brother. What are you gonna do? He goes, I'm taking it. Right? I said, oh fuck. So I go to give him the moonsault. I think I would do it on a table. I think I was gonna do it on the table. So he moves, and guess what? The fucking table doesn't break. I said, whoa. The table doesn't break. As a matter of fact, I bounced off it like I was on the moon. I bounced off the damn.
It landed up.
I was like, wow. It was the crazy. It was the crazy. So I was like, wow. I'm like, I said, Smokes, come on, please. I'm like one fry shy of a Happy Meal, man. I'm like, I'm like King Mabel coming down from the towers, brother. You gotta take it easy, And he just wanted. I love Smokes. He's a wild man. He has a lot of energy. And he's a throwback. He
is. He sure is.
Picks people up. Yeah. But if you're gonna go in the ring with Julius Smokes, you better go 100%. It's I love that guy. I really do. But that was the first. That was the time. Yeah, because I wrestled you a few times. We did we did the match in Florida. You got that, and you carried yourself pretty well. You got, and so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so that's what I was telling Joe. I said, let me just roll on people, like a landlord, and just and and that would be like a thing. So, this is great, and now I'm doing this here show. The Blue Demon. Have you ever heard the Blue Demon story, Rex? Have you ever told anybody about the Blue Demon story? Blue Demon Jr.
Blue Demon.
The Mexican icon.
Yep, I know.
Okay, so I'm supposed to wrestle him. Okay, my number one fan of his father's. Okay. So I'm supposed to wrestle. The day I'm gonna wrestle him, I get locked up. I go to jail. Okay. I hit somebody's car with a U-Haul, and that was it. So I'm in the slammer, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna take over the jail, by the way. But anyways. So I'm in the slammer, and we're taking such a long time. The lawyer, state appointed attorney or whatever, recognizes me. And he said, I'm taking my kids out to this wrestling show. You're a wrestler, aren't you? I says, yeah, I know. I'm in it. I'm in it for a long haul. He goes, I'll move your file up. I'll get you out. I said, really? Yeah. So he gets me out, and I go home. He gets me out. I go home. I basically barrel through the door. I basically bust open the door like I was an FBI agent. I broke the door at the gym, bust open the door like I was Jack Webb's, and I grabbed my tights, and I rushed down to the church. We did this in a church, and there's another thing about this church. I'll in a second. St. Bernard's or something like that. So we almost caused the riot. Do you hear everybody? We caused the riot in a church. We were drunk. It was like, talk about a revival.
I was there.
So I get into the cab, okay, and I get butt naked, and I get dressed in the back of the cab while the guy is driving. I said, "Don't worry, sir, I'm a star." And he's like, "Whatever." And we get there, tip him well. I go to do the match with Blue Demon. He looks like Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld to me. Okay, because I went to go see him in the back, and he takes off his mask. So I kind of barrel through the door like a Homer Simpson kind of character, right? And I come in, and his mask is off, and he's just, and he's like, fuck. I said, at the time I thought he was just like a guy that just like a maintenance guy or something. But he looked like Jerry Seinfeld. I said, listen, you guys know where Demonio Azul, I thought he was Spanish, but he, and he goes, I'm him. I said, listen, so he shuts me down, and we go out. It's our time to wrestle. Guy beat me like I was a stepchild. He tore into me. He whooped me worse than my mother ever had.
That's fun.
And oh man, it was one of my worst matches. But he problems, so he wanted to take out on somebody. Man, that guy can go. He's like 50 years old.
And that's why he didn't want to talk to you in the locker room. He's like, fuck that, I'm going to be fucking this guy up. This guy to talk about.
That's
Yeah.
That's exactly. But I learned a lot from him. That day, and it was funny because I think so many guys, Papa Don and Sam Shields and all these guys, they were there. They wanted to work him, but they matched and said no. Suntan's working him. And when I came out, you had all these people with hats and towels of mine. I cried. And by the way, I walked in there, and I'm really sorry about this with Blue Demon, but I walked in there smelling like the Nightmare Before Christmas because I didn't.
You was in the family.
I was spending the night in jail, and I guess, and Blue Demon gave me he gave me the potatoes for that too. You know, I mean, potato salad, brother. My goodness, unbelievable. I never got beat like that since I don't remember what. So you know, that was and we started a riot up at a church, a whole riot. It was during the Guerrero brothers and the Maximo brothers. No, it was
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
well and well. Everybody was lit up on tequila in a church. Free tequila in a church. Free tequila in a church. I thought we blew the roof off the place. We blew the roof off the place, and and then we were banned from there. No, you know, I don't know. It was, we had some fun times. Let me tell you, and you'll never get an that was one of the best times, and it was the best. It was intense. It was the best times. I wouldn't. So now here I am, and I got this show. Friday, July 1st, Guts and Glory Pro. Um, the idea for this show came to me while I was listening to the song "The Eye of the Tiger," and it just stuck with me ever since. Okay, I have a love for the Attitude Era, and I was listening to that song, and I was thinking of the Attitude Era. You know, everybody's so worked up on the ECW way of doing things. You know, when you ask somebody, what's your favorite wrestler? Mine's is Stan Hansen, by the way, Tiger Mask, Colt Cabana, and what's this guy, Tyson Kidd. These guys are phenomenal people. And anytime you ask anybody who's your favorite wrestler, especially workers, they'll tell you Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. They are diehard marks. I can guarantee you this for ECW. That man, Paul Heyman, was a genius. He switched up an entire culture by himself, essentially. Okay, by attaching Kurt Cobain's, the grunge stuff to wrestling and bringing that to the table. Not everybody, all the backyarders and everybody thought that they could, so that ECW had more of an impact than anything else, in my opinion. So I've always wanted to be the Black Paul Heyman, the guy with the phone and the shirt and the whole thing. And that's never been fulfilled. Joel's had me doing these matches. I've done the Chikaras. I've gone to Florida. I've gone up and down the coast. And, I've had some good matches, some terrible ones. But I always wanted to fulfill that dream of being. So so I had this thing. Guts and Glory was originally supposed to start a while back, but that got put on the back burner because I had to help somebody do this show, NAX, and it was an interesting show. It was an interesting show. So I still have that itch to put on my own show. So the other day I went to a casino, this place Jake's 58s, and I won some money, and I said I'm going to go ahead and put on a show. So it's and that's pretty much what that's like. And we got Dan Moff, guys at Torpedo. He's one of the reasons why I had to go through it, because if you don't want to cancel on a guy like that. The guy is just, he'll bitch slap your grandmother, and
Yes,
he's a wild man. He's a wild man. That's right. So yeah, it's the original show was gonna have this guy Marty Scurll. That he was sucked up into this controversy, this whole thing. And I had spoken with Marty. I even tracked down, I did a whole investigation on the thing, and I told him, me and Marty, we had like an argument. And I said, Marty, you have to stand up for yourself. I said, this, I can't do this for you. And we had a big argument, and Marty hung up on me and never called me back. So it set me back a ways before I'm doing this show. So now I got this show here. We got Dan Moff, we've got Papa Don, we've got Deshaun Pratt. These are excellent workers, by the way. I mean, Moff, forget about it. Okay, the energy that he brings to these shows is something that's very unique, very big. Papadon, seasoned vet, the guy,
God.
brilliant. Deshaun Pratt, he's another one. He's like one of the top hybrids of the Northeast Coast here, and he's under the radar. I don't know why. I don't know how that's possible. The guy is a gold mine. Um, we got these kids, the air show in Chicago. They were known as the Hawks, the Cyber Hawks, or something. They fly all over the place, man. They're like jumping beans. This is unbelievable. When you see what they do, oh, you're gonna. It's unbelievable. And I'm gonna have a few surprises there. I got Ghost Shadow. I got this girl I'm flying up, Sadie Suicide. Florida. Now this girl's somewhat of an exhibitionist and a worker at that. And she was the one that I have a death match going on there. She's the one that suggested the death match to me. And I looked at her, she's a perfect 8. And I said, you do these things with the bleeding and the whole. I can't take the bleeding. I don't know if you, Rex will tell you. I can't take the bleed. I faint. I faint. I went to a GCW show up at the Atlantic City. I passed out. I can't. These things are just horrible.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You are, man. It smelled like mercury and acid. There. It was crazy. It was
having my own blood taken. I don't like that.
These guys, they bang themselves up with the glass. So we're doing a death match. We got brother Casanova Valentine, Sadie Suicide. We got Adrian Santos. That's gonna be one for the books.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a few surprises, Rex. I think this is where you come in here, Chief.
No, I've known him for.
I have a question for you guys too, because I was doing some scouting. Who are some? Do we have any good tag teams out in the Northeast? I got Barton and his friend. I got the Air Show. I got Team Pro. But who? And you guys should know who are some of the top tag team people in the Northeast. Oh, I'm sorry. That is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We're gonna have a good. No. We brought everybody. Look. It's gonna be an incredible show. It's at the Knights of Columbus Hall, that beer hall that they got over there. You're gonna have me. You're gonna have that. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a match. I'm gonna figure all that out in the coming days. If I do, it's most likely going to be my very last match ever, and I'm breaking this right here on the Bear Podcast. It's going to be my very last match ever. My body hurts. I mean, it is on fire. Okay. My woman says that I'm losing stamina and speed in the bedroom. That's crazy, right? And I can hear myself chew. You know, I'm like a friggin' machine. I got a lot to take care of. So it may be my last stunt. Let me see. We'll see what happens. You know. Yeah, one last round, and it's gonna be against my mentor, Whiplash. Let me see how that works out. Let me see how that works. Chris Barton reached out to me. He wants to rumble with me. I might get him too. You know, I like his style. I like the energy he brings in. He dumps people on there. Let's see him try that on me. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see. I love the guy. Yeah. Because I want to do more of the shows. You know what I mean? I want to. I love the wrestling. I want to bring, I want to bring back the Attitude Era. I want to bring back that feel that we had back in 2002. You dig what I'm saying? When you go into these locker rooms today, it's like a Starbucks lounge. Whereas the old, our locker room was the best, Rex. It was, and I want to bring these things back. I want to bring that feel back, like a gridiron gang. Fucking God, glory. The one, the fighting spirit. And it sounds cliche. I was given advice to give the show a name besides the guts and glory. I was given advice. Sunset Flip. I came up with Somersault. stuff like that. I said, no, it's a debut show. Let me just call it there, and 100%. Oh, and I got Mike Quackenbush coming there too, running a seminar before the show starts. Mike Quackenbush is doing this seminar. I've gotten so much positive response from this. I couldn't believe it myself when I saw it. I mean, the guy's like retired, and he's so professional. He's talking to me and everything, and so I got Quack coming back, and we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous as hell, to be honest with you. I'm nervous as hell. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, you guys got a game going on, is that right? Line me up.
Let me adjust my living room for the game. So give me a second.
Guys, I gotta be honest. I mean, your stories are just so amazing. I'm just like, like, wow. Like, I'm just so focused on listening. I'm like, I'm grateful.
Yeah, it's you know. Let me tell you, the wrestling world, okay, is like the back behind the scenes stuff is so addictive, I would say. The journey, the stories, you can't make some of the stuff up. You can't make it.
Oh no.
All the time in these podcasts, they're amazing. They're amazing. I remember Chikara, right? So I was dispatched to Chikara, National Pro Wrestling Day 2017. So there was an argument as to, who was to go over and all this other stuff backstage. I had to wrestle a House of Pain. So they construct the match, they put the match together, and there was the argument backstage. So I had to call on Quack. I said, listen, sir, we have a little disagreement here. Can you kind of intervene? Because nobody wanted to listen to me. Okay. And so Quack says, okay, I'll be right there. Quack comes in and he says, listen, if you guys don't know how to do this, I can teach you right now, real quick. And everybody was embarrassed. They were like, oh, no, no, no. So we did the match. Now, everything that they constructed, all the cues, all the, all the gimmicks that they were going to put in the match, none of it happened. Everything went south. I was not supposed to do the moonsault. If you watch National Pro Wrestling Day 2017, I was not supposed to do that moonsault. The finish was supposed to be a double whip. I cannonball the guy on the other side of the corner, and then Whiplash and Magma was supposed to come in and drop kick these guys behind me. If you could imagine that, right? So the cannonball just comes out of the blue because the match went south, and Magma comes into me and whispers in my ear, Suntan, do the moonsault. I'm like, oh, fuck. First off, it was embarrassing. And with that, and I wasn't ready for this. So you'll see me in that match, National Pro Wrestling Day. It was like 50 minutes in the YouTube video. And you'll see me, I actually call out the moonsault to see if the crowd wanted to see that. I was hoping they were going to boo me or something like that. They all got crazy, raucous.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, here we go. So you'll see me before I go up. I do the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost sign, and then I go up and I did it, and we finished the match that way. But the whole thing that you watch from beginning to end, that was all. We don't know what that was. The chicken soup. I don't know. Yeah, you had many matches like that, huh, Rex?
That is for sure.
Your
That
best
is for
match with
sure.
Sebastian Cage and Nutrius, and you had a lot of good. We were gonna team you up with Chris Hero Rex. Was gonna do like a big brother, little brother thing.
All right, so yep, it's time to name that tune, Suntan. You know, we've had many people play this game. You know, last week we had Solomon Stone out in Florida. He is right now the person with the most correct answers with 8 out of 10.
Right.
All right, so if there is anybody in the chat, you guys in the chat guess how many Suntan will get correct out of his 10. And if anybody guesses how many he gets correct, you will be sent a Wrestling with a Bear t-shirt for guessing how many he gets correct. Now, Suntan, your 10 have a theme, and the theme is wrestlers who wore a cowboy hat. On the show, I said, you know what? I got to make this interesting for Suntan.
That reaction, that reaction is priceless.
So we got, and thank God that I did not put your favorite wrestler on this list, because I almost put Stan Hansen on this list when I was going through the list of cowboy hat wearers, and that would have been one you would have got correct like that, since he is your favorite wrestler. So I'm happy I didn't put him on this list. So we're gonna start with your first one. Your first one should be easy for you. So what do you got there for that one?
We got Mr. JBL himself.
JBL, yes. 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Nah.
JBL, the big bully in the locker room.
This next one is going to be hilarious right here. Let's see if you get this one. Do you have any idea?
Dory Funk Jr.?
No.
Oh,
Man, I see you have a big smile on your face.
Wait a minute. What was that? That was a weird. Wait a minute.
That was Jimmy Wang Yang.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay. I was gonna say
that was Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang Gang. All right, Jimmy Wang Gang. Fucking jerk off. All right, go ahead.
Here we go. Next one, easy.
That guy was a wrestler.
Well,
All right, hold
he's
on.
a part of wrestling. Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay. He's a commentator.
All right. That guy, I mean, you know, I was gonna say like Eugene, but hold on. That would have to be Mr. Slobber Knocker himself,
Yes.
good old JR.
Good old JR. And my wife was in the kitchen saying the answer. All right. That is got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. All right, here we go. Next one. Going back to the 90s now.
Oh, is that what's his name? Jimmy B. Bat, Johnny B. Bat?
No, that is the Smoking Gun.
That's a
That was
who?
close though. That was close. The Smoking Gun. That was close because his music was similar. All right. Well, let's see.
Hard God.
Let's see. So you're still you're 50%, 2 out of 4.
Sorry about your damn luck. Sorry about your damn luck.
Oh,
Grease.
fuck.
King Johnson.
No.
About your damn luck.
The tag team.
Sorry
Storm.
about your damn luck.
Storm.
Yeah,
James Storm.
there we go. I knew you knew that one. Here we go. Another easy one for you. Ricky, tell me this one. Yeah, my wife is going to get this one also.
Oh, that's easy. Jay Eagle.
Yes.
No, I'm just, no, I'm sorry. The Black Machismo.
that could be right too.
No, wait.
That could be
Wait. The Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yes. You do know your cowboy hat wearing wrestlers. All right, so this one we're going to take it back with this one.
Wait till I tell you about the time I almost jumped into porn.
So you're 4 out of 6. You're 4 out of 6, and I can't wait to hear that story. Number 7. I remember this music.
Was that that wasn't Jeff Jarrett, was it?
Oh no, it was not Jeff Jarrett. That is Cowboy Bob Orton. Randy Orton's father.
Cowboy Bob Orton. Oh man. That's fucked up.
I said though, as that.
They came out with this. Jeff Jarrett had a. That's a down south cat.
That's Jeff Jarrett.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm giving you that one because he said it. He was next on the list. All right, this one, I want to see if you get this one. Because this one was a hard one for me when I was looking up the songs. And what are we? Yeah, we had 2 more. You're what? 6 out of 8? No, wait. 5 out of 8.
5. I got 5
out of 8. Got to get these last 2.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, my bad. Let me get closer.
I don't got can I get like can I use a hint or something? Can I get a hint?
It was a tag team. Deb Coulter was their manager at one point. Deb Coulter. What was his name back?
Dutch Mantel.
Yep.
Dutch Mantel.
Yep. That is the new Blackjacks or Justin Hawk Bradshaw when he was by himself. They both used as the tag team, and when he was by himself, he used that song.
I got it right.
Yep, you did.
There you
All
go.
right, and the last one I think you're gonna get right. I don't see why you would get this one wrong. This one is definitely going to be one of your favorite wrestlers. Here we go.
Yeah. Now, that wasn't Stan, right? That wasn't Stan when he came to WCW, right?
No, that was Terry Funk.
Get the fuck out of here.
Terry Funk.
That old Gipper. Oh, come on.
Well, that's good. You did 6 out of 10. That is awesome, though. That is awesome.
Oh.
You did better than our first few guests who only got like 2 or 3 right.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. You did good.
Wait. So
you got them.
So who said I would only wait? So who said I would only get 2 right?
I don't know. Did anybody talk in the chat? No, nobody talked in the. Yeah, I just flipped over. Now nobody talked in the chat. No, but you did 6. I'm happy. I'm happy you did 6.
Oh, me too. Me too. So I'm gonna have me a Miller Lite thing here.
Oh boy.
Oh wow. So there was a place called the Meadowbrook Motel, and there was a film crew that was there that was going to go film a scene up in another part of Long Island known as Bayville. And I had rented out a room that night, and I had a few friends over. We had a wild time. All right. So when she went, I went over to them. I said, "Listen, look, I'm wondering how you guys get this thing going. I got the pills and everything. I can get this stuff going on." So they said, "Okay, fine." So I went on over there to the set, and they, instead of like auditioning me or whatever, I had to be a fluffer. So right. So I had to be a fluffer. But then when the girl had came for me, I guess to fluff her, she had to get ready for this guy, this stripper guy who was like, I mean, I don't know if this is a kid show. He was well endowed. This guy. Okay. All right, hold on. So, all right. I mean, listen, look, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but this guy, when I saw him, he undressed himself in front of me. This guy, while he was standing in front of me, his shit was out parking the car. All right. So I told him, I said, "Listen, look, honey, I don't know what I can do with that. I can't help you." I said, "This guy, look at it. This guy's like I don't know what to tell you." And that story was a cheap. It was a cheap movie. The guy's name was forget this friggin' guy's name. He's like a famous. He's like a popular guy. I want to say his name was the Punisher or Pressure something. I don't know. He's famous. He's got a tattoo on his stomach. I'm sure he's famous now. They told me he was. So, but that would be my thing. That would have been. Listen, look. Can you imagine that? This is And this is while I was with the Ludus. This is while I was. Can you imagine that? Right. So AR Fox does a deal, right? And what's her name? Paige got caught up in the whole deal, right?
Yep.
So I figured, what the hell? I figured, can you imagine that? Suntan. I had a whole name. I was gonna be called Dr. Wow and all this other stuff. It was a whole thing. It was gonna be a whole. It was gonna be a whole thing. The Black Bear, the Woods, this whole thing. We're gonna have a whole thing, and and it just never fell through. But can you imagine that? You have all the girls exposed, but then now you imagine me, man. I'm a sexy bitch, and it would have been fun. It would have been. Listen, so you guys are gonna edit that part out, right? When
We're live. There's no editing out anything.
oh fuck. So you guys don't Rex. I thought okay. So you can't edit this out, Rex.
And that's a great way to end the show, though, with that wonderful story. That is a great ending point. Suntan's porno debut.
End this.
We definitely had a great time with you.
People put that on there, Rex. Jesus Christ, Rex. I was just shooting the breeze with you guys. Holy Christ. This is embarrassing, Rex. I can't talk. All right, let's take it home. Shit. Friday, July 1st, Guts and Glory makes its Northeast Coast debut.
Yeah.
You guys come on down, wrestling.eventbrite.com. It's going to be a wild time. You're going to meet me. We're going to have some kicks. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to dance. We're going to do the whole night. And just, forget about the pornography, You're going to meet Sadie. Hush. I'm on a roll here. Call me butter. Right? You're going to meet Dan Moff. You got all these people. The best of the best is coming, and we got some surprises coming up. Okay. Bless you guys. I love you. What's your name there, big guy? The man upstairs.
Bear Man.
Oh, my name is Alex Alcazaz.
Alex Alakazam. Listen, thank you very much for having me on. Listen, thank you very much for having me on the show. You're a wild man. I appreciate you guys. And guys, support the Bear Man Cafe. What was the name of the man?
Wrestling with a Bear podcast.
Wrestling with a Bear.
With the Bear. Wrestling with the Bear. That was one of the things they used to call shark bait. It was called Rape the Bear. It was a whole.
Oh boy.
God bless you guys. Stay groovy. Support the Wrestling Cafe. So the wrestling. All right. I just. Can you? I love you too, guy. All right. Take it easy. Holy.
All right, Alex, take it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that does it for today. On behalf of Wrestling with a Bear, we thank you so much. Don't forget to tune in next week as we'll be joined by Nick Sickend. In the meantime, be excellent to each other and keep supporting professional wrestling.